Exploring just the lower Kulsai was beautiful enough. So if you ever visit Kulsai, take it slow. Don't rush from one lake to another just to tick it off your list. Walk a bit, sit a bit, and let the views actually sink in. That's how you'll remember it, and that's how you'll truly enjoy it. The remaining day was all about hitchhiking and how to get back home from Kulsai. After finishing my snacks here, I walked back to the parking area and started asking almost everyone I saw for a lift. No luck at all for quite a while until finally, after nearly an hour, one kind couple offered to drop me off at Saty village since they were heading that way. Hitchhiking sounds super easy until you try it. So most big buses or packed cars won't usually stop. So aim for couples or small family or smaller cars with space. They are usually heading to Saty or even before Kulsai. So that's where you'll get lucky. Once I got dropped off at Saty, I offered the couple some money, but they refused to take it. Usually it's better to talk about money before you get into the car, or at least confirm if it's just a free hitch ride. Check the situation, read the vibe, and decide accordingly, because some people genuinely help, others expect a small amount for the fuel. By the time I reached Saty, it was already around 7 in the evening and hunger hit hard. I went back to the same restaurant as yesterday and ordered a plate of mante, my comfort food. While eating, I started planning for the next morning. Since I knew I'd be leaving Saty, I had already spoken to a few people and confirmed with one driver through the InDrive app for 25,000 tenge. So the plan is very simple. He'd pick me up from Saty, wait while I explore the Charyn Canyon, and then drop me all the way back to my guest house in Almaty. So everything was set for that price, which is like 25,000 tenge. My last night in Saty felt calm and peaceful. That quiet kind of a satisfaction you get when you know you have explored as much as you could, spending as little as possible. Last night in Saty ended quietly, and before I knew it, the next morning had already begun. Bags packed, drivers confirmed, and the plan was set. Saty to Charyn Canyon and then back to Almaty. Day 5 was officially on the road. Around 2 hours into this drive, we crossed this black canyon. I didn't stop to look around because for me this part of the trip was more about taking off a must-visit spot on my way to Almaty. Having lived in the Middle East for years, canyons don't really surprise me the way they might for others. These dry landscapes feels quite familiar for me. So the scenery was nice and all, but what worried me more was about the heat. Still, I wanted to see for myself what makes Charyn Canyon so special. About 10 kilometers before the canyon, we stopped at the main checkpoint to pay the entrance fee. Unlike the Kulsai and Kaindi, Charyn Canyon is actually a part of the State National Nature Park, so the entry is officially regulated. The ticket price is as per the park's official rate, plus a small additional fees of about 100 tenge for a vehicle access. Since I came with a driver through InDrive, this entrance fees wasn't included in the ride cost, so I had to pay it separately at the gate. So once that was done, we continued the drive towards the Valley of Castles, the most popular section of this Charyn Canyon. Most people think Charyn is just one canyon, but it's actually a part of a huge network of 5 different canyons spread across this national park. So each one has its own shape, color, and landscapes, right from rocky red cliffs to green river valleys. Valley of Castles is the most visited section mainly because it's the easiest to reach and has basic facilities like the washroom and restaurants. And that's where I'm heading right now. Even though we started from Saty around 9 in the morning, we had to stop a few times on the way for the driver's personal errands. So by the time we reached the canyon, it was already noon. The sun was straight above and the heat was really brutal. To be honest, I wasn't too excited about visiting this place in the first place, and the weather made it even worse. For a moment, I actually thought of just taking a few clips and heading back, but then seeing so many people walking around so enthusiastically, I thought, alright, maybe I should give it a try. As you step out, you can see a long stairway in distance leading down to the open land of the canyon. So without wasting much time, I started walking down and stopped at one of the resting spots down there just to wait for the shuttle van that goes to the river end. So walking this whole stretch in this heat would have been a bad decision. And don't assume that you'll get a van halfway through. Most of them are already full. So if you start walking and then decide to take the van later, there's a high chance you won't find an empty one. The van ride to the end of the stretch costs 500 tenge per person one way. And I did suggest taking the open van at least for one side of the trip. It's perfect to capture videos and enjoy the full view while riding through the canyon. And on the way back, you might not have a chance of which van you get, so it's better to experience the open one while you can. If you decide to walk the entire way and the weather feels manageable, there are resting spots placed every few kilometers along the trail. So still it's better to check the weather conditions before deciding what works best for you. So while I was sitting in this van, the wind made the ride a lot more comfortable and gave me a chance to actually enjoy the canyon view. It's definitely worth visiting. This landscape is nothing like what you'd see in UAE. After about 10 minutes, the driver dropped us at this stop and asked us to get the ticket from this counter. So if you're arriving during the peak hours or when the crowd builds up, head straight to the counter as soon as you get down. The waiting time can get pretty bad later. Despite the harsh weather conditions and heat and dust, reaching this final spot felt really peaceful. I could have easily sat here for the whole evening. And like I mentioned earlier, the temperature really drops near the water bodies, and this river was really a relief after the sun had drained all my energy. I sat here for a while just cooling down before heading back to the ticket counter area. Around this zone, there are washrooms but super poorly managed. They are free to use, unlike most others, which probably explains this condition. Let's say you wouldn't want to step inside unless it's absolutely necessary. And yes, the washrooms here are really disappointing. And I don't even have an hack for this one, unfortunately. So unless it's an absolute emergency, please avoid them. With this disappointment, I think I'll continue the rest in my next video.